Welcome to Will Podcast for Laughs. On this episode, we talk about who and what inspires us. We talk about how we would react to people recognizing us in public and the art of paying it forward. It's all today on Will Podcast for Laughs.
Hello and welcome to Will Podcast for Laughs with V,
Ian,
and Taylor.
Today we're talking about what inspires us, and this is a topic that was given to us by one of our Twitch followers, which is really cool. So Twitch is a live stream that we do when we're recording that you guys can tune in and watch. And
Twitch.tv/Podcast for Laughs.
Correct, and that way you can also throw in your suggestions and your tidbit and comments as well.
And bug us while we're recording.
Maybe we'll do an episode on what you guys want.
Yeah.
So, to our, who was it? Who told it? Do we know who
My
it
best
is?
friend.
Oh.
So he was like, "What about your inspirations?"
Yes. So what about him?
Or how others feed off others' creative juices.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, just like so. What?
So we're gonna do it.
Who inspires you, V?
Well, okay.
Or what inspires you?
What and who are very different things for me.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching a lot of like old TV, old movies. So like my favorite show growing up and to this day is like I Love Lucy. And so she's one of the people that being in comedy, and then when I started doing stand-up like 5 years ago, she was one of the people that I would just constantly like watch her stuff and look at her stuff because she was, for the time she lived in, very unique, you know? So people like that, and I know that kind of sounds a little cheesy, but being a woman, being a woman in comedy is very rare. So looking up to women in comedy like her, like Ellen nowadays, people who've made these big moves, they inspire me. But aside from that, like, I don't want to call them normal people, but normal people that inspire me.
Yeah, exactly. The
The
normies.
peasants, the average folk. I find, and this, I don't know if it's going to come out right, but I mean it well.
I mean it well.
I mean it well. I mean well by it. People who have any sort of disability, whether that's mental, whether that's physical, and yet still prevail.
Yeah.
That is the most inspiring thing to me. Like when I see, like, who's the guy that just, he started playing in the NFL this year, and he has like he has one arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I can't remember his
yeah.
name. But that's inspiring to me. Or people who have Down syndrome, or there was just a story in the news about this girl who has, she became a flight attendant, and she has Down syndrome. So people who like, because here's the thing. It's so hard for me to just get out of bed and just go to work, and I'm healthy.
Yeah.
So the fact that these people have some sort of ailment and then they still
Push
do things is like so cool, and that's kind of the thing that inspires me the most. That and single moms.
I get that too. Yeah.
Single moms who are going to school, and I don't know how they do it because I go to school full time and I work, and sometimes I feel like I want to pull my hair out, and I can't imagine having children on top of that. Single moms and single dads, but both of those. So those are like my inspirational people. What about you guys? Who inspires you guys?
Well, I mean, if we're talking just like subjectively, like people who inspire, like what I like to do, like I mean, I'm like a writer and stuff. That's what I like to do, and I mean, there's some authors and stuff that inspire me a lot. Like as far as like creatively, they inspire me, like Stephen King and Tolkien and stuff like that. Asimov, and just authors that I'm interested in. And as musicians, I'm really inspired by certain musics, and depending on the mood and stuff like that. But if we're talking like more on a serious level, I circle back to like what you said about people with disabilities and stuff like that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. My sister has a severe mental deficiency. She's a schizophrenic. She's a what would you call it? Like a diagnosed schizophrenic, full blown. Can't. She struggles with like visual and audible hallucinations and stuff like that, and she's an inspiration to me in that sense because of how she is able to persevere and continue on with her life and keep going to school. And I mean, it's been a struggle for her. It's been a really big struggle for her, but she's overcome a lot of things, and stuff like that really, inspires me a lot.
Exactly, and it's kind of like, it's almost like they have this weird superpower inside of them because maybe, I don't know, I've never spoken with anyone particularly, but it's like people think that they can't do something, so then they're energized to do it more.
And they're more driven, yeah.
Yes, and it's really impressive
Mm-hmm.
that they pull through. And then it's not to me like that they and us, like people in general, accomplish a lot of great things. But like in my head, I'm like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I could if I had like if I bust like one time, I literally rolled out of bed, legitimately broke my pinky toe.
Oh God.
I called into work for like 3 days. Like I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't drive. I can't
toe.
walk. My toe. It hurt.
I'm sure
Like,
it did. Yeah.
Had to go to the ER. They had to inject me with the stuff or whatever. But I'm like, I can't even function with like one minor injury in my toe. I can't imagine like I'm not the person like when they have those stories of like Vanessa was driving one day and got hit by a semi truck and was in the hospital, and after 8 weeks of recovery and all of this therapy, she now is an inspirational motivator for women all over the world. That's not me. I'll be in vegetative state in the hospital rest of my life, eating the food that they bring to me. That will be me. Just, it's over. Just bring me the food. I'll be like Ian in Bucket of Doom situation. I've accepted my fate.
I'm out.
This is it. I'm out, world. So all of them are just so inspiring. What about you, Taylor? Who inspires you?
Back in the day, it was comedians like Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes,
Louis-
he's gonna be here.
He's always here. He's like every year,
But he's
2 or 3 months.
performing. When this airs, he'll be performing the next day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but go on.
Yeah. And like people like Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Because like when I was in high school, I was looking. It's like, okay, where like these filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, like when did they make their first movies? I've passed that at this point. There's only a couple more directors that had their first film after my age, but you know what? Everybody's got their first film, so it's
Yeah.
now yes, my best friend and I, a lot of my friends, we did make a feature film together.
Okay.
So we've accomplished that.
That's
now,
cool.
if anything, it's making a better feature film.
Right.
But if anything, right now, probably the number one person that inspires me, other than of course my wife, is a game developer. So there was a movie, a documentary I saw on Netflix called Indie Game the Movie.
Okay.
And it's a documentary on indie game developers. And part of the team meets development team, Edmund McMillan, he developed a video game called Super Meat Boy, The Binding of Isaac. Perhaps have you heard of it?
Yeah.
And his words in the documentary I felt to be very inspiring. And this was before I went back to college. This was before I decided to change my life so that I could do what I want to do. And he was talking basically about how it's just like the game, when he was making the game, because the movie follows part of the development of Super Meat Boy and getting it out there. And he was just basically just talking about how it's just like he's putting all this love and care into it. It's eventually it's got to go out there, and he's talking about us just like it's like you just got to do it. And like to me, I recommend the movie to anybody, but if anything, just find clips of Edmund McMillan on YouTube and his speech in that film, and I think it's very beautiful, and the message is very, very nice and comforting. And so if anything, when I feel like it's like, okay, like today sucks, like I can't do today, I like Edmund McMillan. Like the other day, I had a post in the Facebook where it was just like, it's like I don't feel good today, but it's okay because tomorrow's gonna be better. Like if anything,
and that's just hard. Like being that raw honest, especially like when you reach a certain I feel like once you've accomplished things in life in society's terms, they look at you as like, well, you can't have a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can.
Yeah, and it really, I wasn't having like a bad day or anything. I didn't have like a flat tire or something.
Yeah.
I didn't like go hungry or something. I was having a good day by, just basic human needs standards. Sure. But it was still, it's just, I don't know, it's just like had this shadow over me.
It was a gloomy day.
And so, and seeing his face, I'm looking at his face on Wikipedia, just seeing his smiling, his smiling bearded face. It's
That's
just
cool.
like, it's like, yeah, like this guy, like I feel like I could just hang out with him. I just talk with him for a couple hours. Right. And I would just, not only would the knowledge I would gain be invaluable, just because he is a storyteller first. Sure, his medium is video games, but he's a storyteller first, like me. And he just seems like the kind of guy where he's just cool. Yes, he's probably an introvert. He probably doesn't want to have anything to do with anybody.
Do you feel like, okay,
I think he's great.
Do you feel like, in a weird way, like, not that you know him, but if you were to casually like hang out with him in a scenario, like you guys would get along very well. Do you ever feel that about people that like are in the limelight?
Not
A
celebrities.
little bit? Really?
No.
I feel like me
because-
and Kelly Clarkson would be BFFs. I know.
Like,
it.
even somebody like Edmund McMillan, I feel like because he's already achieved success, that it would almost be like, oh, I'm just a fanboy.
Well, yeah, maybe from their perspective, it'd be a little difficult.
No, even me, like I feel like even
Like,
though I would just want to talk with him, like literally, like I said, I would just want 2 hours
like you
with him.
couldn't
I
kick it with him like a regular dude.
I don't think no, just because, like I said, I feel like I would
Well, you
be
look
more
up
of a
to him.
burden.
Yeah.
I would be more, like I said, that fanboy where it's just like, hey, I love your work.
Yeah. See, this is an issue I have because
Notice
a lot
me.
of
Notice me, senpai.
a lot of my friends around me think like I've been told by many friends that like if I ever get a chance to go to Ellen, I'm taking you with me. I had a girlfriend who actually drove me out to California and was like, let's go to Ellen, because for some reason everyone's like, you could work on Ellen, you'd be great at da 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 da.
You would.
And I've been asked,
Sure.
what would you do if you met Ellen? And the honest truth, I've told this to everybody, I'm like, I'm not gonna fan out. Like, to me, and this might sound so conceited, she's just a normal person. I'm a normal person.
It is.
I think that we have a lot in common in the sense of like we're both really like crazy outgoing type people.
Yeah, sure.
But there's not anybody I get that excited for. Like, Devin will freak out if he ever is in the space of Philip Rivers. Like, you have a full-on heart attack and be like, I have so much respect for you. I just don't get that feeling about people. Isn't that so bizarre? It's not out of lack of respect. It's just, you're a person, I'm a person. That's cool. I honestly, if I ran into Ellen, I'd be like, what's up? Like, that's honestly how I would feel.
I've never met a celebrity, so I can't necessarily say.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met a couple musicians, but that was never anything that...
It is cool though. Like,
It's
even
cool, but-
my boss, who is a professional golfer, he has encountered people who have that moment with him.
Yeah.
And he tells me, he's like, it's a cool thing to know that you've inspired someone. Like, people tell him like, I want to play golf because of you, or you know, your drive, your ambition, da da da.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but at the end of the day, I'm like, you're just a normal dude. You're just...
I think what makes it kind of awkward is the fact that because there's celebrities,
Uh-huh.
no matter what kind of celebrity they are, whether it's television, whether it's music,
Mhm.
whether it's video game developing, whatever, people have access to a part of your life.
Yes. Like, you feel like you know a lot more.
Yeah, so
know
we're-
them.
Where you're like, oh, I love your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. I have no clue who you are, but thanks.
Yeah.
There was something in particular. So there is another video game developer I follow, and I follow her because of the fallout from Telltale Games.
Mm-hmm.
When Telltale Games closed a few months back, it's funny, she's right here. Emily Grace Buck is her Twitter name, and she was a developer at Telltale, and she had tweeted about how it's just like, don't follow somebody on social media, a celebrity, if you're trying to like date them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird.
That's fair.
And she's talking about how, like, one of her friends, where it's just like, oh, like, they're having a bad day, they tweet about it, and so somebody's like, hey, you want to talk to me about it?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
ew, no, creepy.
Yeah, no.
And so I feel like, it's like, no, like, celebrities, like, give them that space. Yes, you may be a part of their life because of, like, social media,
Sure.
but that should be the extent of part of your life.
Do you guys feel like if you were ever at that sort of level or status, like, I feel like I'd be a terrible celebrity. And here's why. I would want to be everybody's friend still. Like, I would not fly privately. I'd fly on a regular plane and
I
talk
would
to
too.
everybody all the time.
I would not
Like,
care.
I would just be way too normal. Like, that's why I say Kelly Clarkson. Like, Kelly Clarkson to me is like the most real, down-to-earth human that does something she loves but doesn't let it get to her head. Like, her concert tickets to this day are like $50.
If I became a celebrity, I'd just disappear. Like if I wasn't like on camera or like whatever I was
Yeah.
doing that made me famous, you wouldn't see me. I would just be
Like,
gone.
you would avoid public appearances.
I would avoid public. I would be hiding
Yeah.
in my mansion, you know, like.
See, and I would
Peeking
just
out
be
the
like
window,
out
like-
in like grocery stores shopping for cereal.
I mean, I'd be out of there. I'm not down for that many people talking to me.
and that's what that's
Unfortunately, I
different.
think that also varies on your level of celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody finds us and listens to us, like this, like, what is his name? Dundee?
Dundee.
Dundee 1214.
Phil Dundee.
He's back here again for the second week. Thank
Cool.
you, Dundee 1214.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
But if he like finds us in public, like, oh my god, you guys,
What's up?
like it's gonna be like wow, cool. First, it's like wow, you know us, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But it's just like okay, fine, we could still easily fly in a public plane or
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but
we're not.
It's when you hit like Leonardo DiCaprio status,
I would still do it.
like where it's just like your entire flight.
Yeah.
From LA to somewhere.
I
It's
was
just
thinking-
gonna be,
DiCaprio?
it's just
One
gonna
of
be
the-
misery. You will never have time to yourself.
But that's the thing. I don't like time to myself. Honest truth. Ask anybody close to me. I've gone from
introvert.
I gotta
I would
cut
like
No.
shut up.
See? And this is why it's because like I've literally gone from like breakfast to brunch to lunch to dinner, not because I was super
It's
hungry.
like, okay, are we having brunch today or are we having dinner
just
today?
because
You
I
pick
enjoy
one.
being around people. Like I can't. It's hard for me to be alone. I say that all now, but like even close friends of mine were like, you'd be the worst because I would walk up to random dinner table. I do that now. I walk up to random dinner tables and I'm like, can I sit with you? I used to do this thing called Coffee with Strangers when I was in between jobs and I was doing stand up. Where I'd go to
we're like
random
sitting here
coffee
like
shops.
horrified by these thoughts.
I'm like, it's like if a random woman just sat down next to me at a coffee shop, like, so
Well,
tell me
I
about your
always
thoughts.
ask.
It's like,
I always ask.
it's like,
But I go.
I'm very uncomfortable.
it's like, okay, I'm taking this latte to go, bye.
I would, but and some people were like that. But I'd walk up into coffee shops, and if I saw some sitting alone, I'd say, hi, would you mind if I sat with you? If you'd like to be alone, I respect that. Otherwise, I'd love to buy you a coffee and get to know you a little bit. And people would be like, okay. Because sometimes people are just alone because they don't have anyone. Like little old ladies, little old men, their kids are grown and gone, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'd say,
that's admirable.
yeah. And then they would talk to me about their life, and I'm like, okay, you need to cool it. Like it's been way too many details. But I love meeting strangers. It's one of my weaknesses. But so it'd be interesting if I ever got to a level of that.
I don't like meeting strangers. If you see me on the street,
Don't
you
talk
can
to
say
you.
hi, but don't say any more, please. I don't want to converse with you.
Well, and I will say that as well. When it comes to celebrity, no matter your level,
Yeah.
I will go over what something Gabriel Iglesias said.
Mm-hmm.
He had a story about when he went to Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
or Disneyland, one of the Disney parks, and his son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess not son-in-law, just son, but it's not his biological son. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right.
He was like really mad that people kept stopping Gabriel, and Gabriel was like, "Hey, like." These are the people that are paying for you to be able to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like, you know
That's what I
what?
tell
It's like
my
if I'm a celebrity and I'm making money because people are helping pay to
Right.
make sure I have a good, comfortable living, I am good with that. I
Mm-hmm.
will shake your hand. I will take
Yeah,
a photo with
definitely.
you.
You gotta be polite.
Because it's just like thank you.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
because of you, I can do what I do and still be able to do other things.
Right.
Because if not, we're just broke.
That's right. That's very right.
So
Recognize where
definitely-
it comes
Broke
from.
with a
If any-
dream.
I will say this to anybody out there: if you see us in public,
Yeah.
well, don't stalk us. Unlike what V said in our first week, I will definitely say like, thank you.
Yeah.
Come in
Sure.
if you want to take a picture with me for whatever reason.
I'm so bad at pictures.
by all means, do.
I'm like Miley Cyrus. So like my eyes are always closed, and I'm like, but I'll do it. I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do this thing, and maybe I'll do it for us now. But I would love to go up to random people, and just like be like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you? And make them think that they're like special. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just a random average Joe person.
That would not make me feel special. That would make me feel like you're like crazy.
Why are you trying to
Let me
take
get
a
a
picture
picture
of me?
with you. Like
I did it one time
No,
when I was like
I'm
at a
good.
theme park, and the dude thought it was freaking hilarious. Because he had a funny shirt, and I was like, I collect photos of people, like not people. I collect photos of people,
I collect photos of people and I put them up on my wall in my room.
and then I stare at them. No, I was like,
All right.
I was like, your shirt's awesome, and I would really love a picture with you because your shirt's hilarious. And he was like, okay, cool, and we took a photo. But I don't know, I'm weird like that.
Sure.
Not everyone's like that, which is fine, whatever. But I don't know how I got derailed from inspirational. So, very close to home, I want to give a shout out to my little sister real quick because
Oh.
I think it's, maybe people might think it's weird to have like a littler sibling that inspires you, but Victoria's 7 years younger than me, and she inspires me because being the youngest of 6 siblings is tough. Being the youngest of 6, like having 5 older sisters sounds awful. Like, I have 3 of them. I had to count. I have 3 of them, and it's a lot of pressure. But she is just, like, the happiest person. She is so fun. And she has already, at the age of 22, she's graduated summa cum laude from her college with 2 degrees, one in special needs, special education, the other one teaching degree. She works at a charter school out in Arizona for first graders. She's having her first baby. She's married. She's bought a house.
Damn.
She owns her car. I'm like, okay, killing it.
Yeah, really.
And she does all of it by herself. Like, by herself, meaning she moved away when she was 18. And, like, I'm still in Vegas. My parents are 20 minutes away. So, it's like, she inspires me in ways that I'm like, you're just killing the life game. I tell her that all the time. And she's like, thanks. But she is. She adopted a dog that's, like, dying of cancer because no one wanted it. I'm like, you're just such a nice person.
Stop breaking my heart this week.
Isn't
man.
she so sweet, though?
That's really nice.
So, I want to give her a shout out because she inspires me. My other sisters suck.
Just throw that out there.
Period. No, I'm just kidding. No, but she's cool. I like her. Tor's the best. Little Tor. People used to call her my mini-me for a long time because her and I have the same, like, weird energy.
Yeah.
And we are like, ah! And then, ironically, there's a sister between us, and she's super quiet. And so poor Jenna always got lost in the madness because it'd be Victoria and I just like, ah!
For me, it's just me and my younger sister.
Yeah.
It's just us 2.
Yeah.
She's about to be 18. She's not even 18 yet.
You guys get along?
Oh yeah, we get along really well. We're like best friends.
That's
like,
awesome.
I mean, we used to be, feuding siblings when she was younger and stuff like that. When I was younger, we get into fights and stuff. But nowadays, especially nowadays, we don't fight at all. We're very, especially with her health problems and stuff, we've become very close. Like we hang out and we've got a very good relationship.
Yeah, as you grow
She's
older,
like
I feel like
friends.
you become really close with your siblings, or you're like, you know what, we're just really different people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And we just grew really close together. We have a lot of the same interests.
For sure.
We like watching a lot of the same things and talking about the same things. And
Yeah. Anything else that inspires anybody? Things? We
The
talk a lot about
Wu-Tang
people.
Clan. That's actually a serious statement. I actually really like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, okay.
And their music is inspiring to me in a way.
Inspiring.
I think one of the things that I love the most is, like, when you see people, I know it's like a cliche thing because Ellen says all the time, but when people are just genuinely kind to other people.
Yeah, definitely.
That is so cool.
That's
It, like,
always a
sets
good
a
thing to
whole
see.
good mood for my day. I remember one time my church, they challenged us to do this thing where you had to go out and each day compliment 3 strangers randomly. And I was like, that's weird. Which you guys just heard. I love strangers, but I was like, I'm not complimenting them.
I'm not going to compliment strangers.
And then I, like, watched as, like, going out into, like, random places. Walgreens, or I'm at a gas station. Just something so small, like, I like your shoes. And just the smile that comes on people's faces, like, my shoes. I love complimenting people in drive-thrus. Like, if you're going through a drive-thru and because most of them are very sad. I don't know if it's related to the fact that they're working in a drive-thru or what, but when I go up to the window and they'll just be like, your total is da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I love your hair. And they're like, thanks. And they feel like it can't be real. And my goal is always to get them to at least smile before I move to the next window. And it works sometimes. I think that's cool when people are, like, kind to other people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know? But the pay for the person behind you thing that happens at Starbucks all the time.
That happens to me, and I've heard that you're expected to keep it going.
Yeah.
It's called pay
it forward. Do you not do it?
But what if I'm like broke and I only had enough for the coffee that I was getting?
What I'll do is I'll pay
it.
I'll still pay it forward. I'll pay it forward somewhere else.
That's not how it works. You guys don't get to change the rules of pay it forward.
Okay. What? If so, like we
in
a movie theater.
Yeah.
Somebody paid for our ticket at a movie theater.
Sure.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Never heard that one.
Yeah, and so the next day we pay for somebody's meal at a restaurant.
Okay.
So we paid it forward.
Yeah, no, you did. I get. Yeah, it's still cool. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But like in the Starbucks situation, it's someone starts it, and then the idea is that it keeps going.
To keep it going, yeah.
Forever, and then I've always wondered who's the person who breaks it. Now I know.
The people who can't afford it.
The who can't.
You were
That's
like,
true.
oh yes,
I don't know if the person
coffee.
behind me ordered like $20.
What if they only got?
What
What if they only got a cake pop?
Sure, I'm gonna lean out my window and be like, "Hey, what did you buy?"
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
sorry, I can't afford
like,
that.
what if they bought their whole company coffee that day, and you're like, "I'll buy all 60."
They're like, "Okay, are you sure, sir? That's no, just do it." And it's like, I look later on my card, and it's like $80 charge.
I have tried.
Really? That was like 4 coffees.
I have tried to buy 2 times in like the last 3 or 4 years, I've tried to buy someone's food and they've told me no, and that is awkward.
I can imagine that's awkward.
It's super. One time it was in like a Rubio's, and it was an officer, and it was right after the October 1 shooting. So I was like, I really would like to buy your meal just to say thank you for your service. And he was like, I'm sorry, we're not allowed to receive anything. And I was like, what? And he was like, it's considered bribery. And I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah, we had the sandwich shop as a family. We could have a first responder discount.
That's
the same
so
thing.
ridiculous. Like I was upset about that ridiculous. One. And then there was another time where I tried to buy a girl's coffee at CSN actually because she was making a big deal. She's like, how much is that? 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 And she was like nervous about money. So she was like, oh, I don't have enough for that. So then I went and I was like, grab whatever you want. I'll buy it for you. And it's a CSN like cafe shop. It's the most expensive thing's like $5.
I know, it's not.
And she was like, oh no, I have money. I just don't want to spend it. And I was like, okay.
What the hell are you in line for?
Yeah.
I was like, well then, I guess I won't buy it for you then. See, I try to be a good Samaritan. It just backfires.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a something inspirational. Kind of, I guess, really, but I would consider it more just like beauty. Is when I work at my other job, and I see couples come in and they walk through our display, and it's just like, oh, when they're holding hands, like resting head on shoulders or something. It's just like you could tell they're in love. Like couples, I'll see couples that they'll just walk next to each other.
Yeah.
Or like one of them will be like pushing their baby cart or something. Or one of them will be slapping the other in the patootie. Like okay, like it's like okay, whatever. Like sure, they may love each other. When you just see them, you see those like gushing
love moments.
Couples where they're just like,
when you
they're
see
just happy, just the fact that the other person's like existing with them.
When you see
just like
a guy, a little old man opening the door for his wife, and they're like in their 60s, breaks my heart. Although I'm like, come on, go faster. I need your parking spot. Let's go. Be romantic quicker. Let's go. I agree with you. One of the things that a lot of my girlfriends think is really cute, and I don't, is when they see dads carrying the diaper bag for, like, in restaurants. Like, they'll carry the diaper bag out, and then the mom will carry the baby.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, no. And they're like, you don't think it's romantic? I'm like, no. I would not make them carry the diaper bag. I think it should be expected. For him to carry the diaper bag?
Sometimes.
Maybe just teamwork.
Sometimes. You split the burden. Sometimes you carry the diaper bag because my shoulder hurts.
My shoulder.
I don't know.
Sometimes you pick
Devin
up.
has told me if we have a child, he will carry the child for 9 months since I carried it for 9 months. So I'm like, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's
I
cute.
don't want to touch it. I'm just
after 9 months, he's
the
just
doctor's like,
then I have to hold it forever.
It's midnight.
The doctor's like, do you
See you
want to
later.
hold it? Like, God, no, please. Give it to my husband.
After 9 months, he never carries a child again.
Well, I think that's going to end it for this week.
All right. It's been a kind of an interesting week for us.
Yeah, we've had
We're all over the place.
Depression, annoyance,
Inspiration.
kind of trying to do humorous gameplay. We talked about music awkwardly in a weird episode that I made awkward, and then inspiration.
That's all
I
good.
think it's been a good one.
Yeah, we are all over the place, but you know what? It is what it is.
It's cool stuff.
We made someone laugh, I'm sure,
Well,
even if it was just us.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
All right. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Yep.
Let us know what inspires you.
Monday.
Let us know what you think of this week's episodes. And tune in Monday for another beautiful week.
And don't
on
forget
World Podcast for
to
Laughs.
visit our website. Share it with your friends or your enemies, whatever.
You think your enemies will like it?
Or your frenemies.
People you want to surprise. You know, like those
Or
things on
your
Facebook that are
friends.
like, tag one of your friends and don't say anything. And it wastes their time. Do that.
Yeah.
Send them our random link and then they'll be like, what is this?
Either
You're
that
saying to.
or start one of those like chain things where it's just like you've been visited by the Will Podcast for Laughs. Frog.
Oh,
if you don't share this
If
10
you don't
times.
share this in 5 times, then they will come to your house in the middle of the
And
night.
they'll
And
host a
stalk you.
podcast in your
We
living
will
room.
stalk you. She says she's cool with it.
They're not
We
afraid.
should start one. That'd be so funny. All right, guys. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Yep.
And are you going to say goodbye to Branson?
Yep. Goodbye, Branson, Missouri.
Okay.
Bye, Brandon.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, Branson. Love you guys. Love everybody.
Hey, Branson, is it?
Deuces.